Hello, Great Couch family.
Hi.
This is Stanley.
And this is Otito.
And we are coming to you during this holiday season.
Yep.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year.
Yeah, it's winding down. And we still have 2 more guests, right?
One more. I don't know if we can squeeze 2 more.
Before the end of the year. But if we can, right, then that's our gift to you. But we wanted to, I guess, Stan wanted to pick up, right? So you'll be hearing from him. Pick up on the idea when I said that the way that sometimes I experience him at home is not the way that others experience him sometimes, right? And so the question that he's saying, I'm duplicitous, and I said no, we all do that. It's like putting your best foot forward. You've heard of the typical story of how like a husband and wife will be like fighting, and then they get to church and it's like, hello, bless your heart. Then you get in the car, you continue the fight again, right? So it's kind of I think putting your best foot forward. But we're talking about from a historical point of view, right? Because I think that's why it kind of maybe struck a nerve, right? Because you grew up sometimes in some households, right? We're not saying whose household, right? Between the two of us, because I think the stories are so similar, right? Like, you see the head of household, like when it comes to things in the house, like, oh, I don't have any money. You be hearing stories. Then you go outside and you see the same person, like, dashing, you know, when in Nigeria I say dashing.
It's kind of clever what dashing for the non-Nigerians here.
You see the same person, like, you know, basically giving money away, and it's like, what? As in, is this the same person? Right? And so, you know, we kind of have that, maybe those extremes as a backdrop, right? That's why he was like, hey, is that, you know, what you're trying to say? And I said no, but it's just this idea of how sometimes, right, and this is just human, I don't know what that says, human nature. It's almost like we're kinder to strangers than we are to the people that are inside, you know, our houses and our spouses. And by strangers, I don't mean strangers that you don't know at all. I mean people on the outside, right? So that's a presentation.
They could be strangers too.
Yeah. I mean, stranger is that you don't know the person, and that's okay. It's a one-off thing. But I'm just like talking about where other people who know you, right? And that's sometimes why it's so hard, right? In terms of relationships, because the other person is like, I don't know them like that. So you know what I mean? They're the kindest, like gentlest, you know, person ever.
So you're saying when one spouse comes to report another spouse to a mutual friend, and they're saying this spouse did X, Y, Z, and they're like, I don't think that's possible. That person wouldn't praise that. Doesn't.
I don't even know that is like reporting. It's not reporting. It's just you, you know, stating an incident, right? So that's not like necessarily report, because reporting is that you are trying to get somebody to be on your side, right? But let's say you're saying, oh, this happened. And then the other person is like, I don't know that person like that. So what is going on here is also something that needs to be, would I say, drilled into a little bit, right? Because for Stan not understanding this means that men don't generally do this. But women, I feel like this is what helps us to keep our sanity, where you're just like, oh my God, this happened like, you know, yesterday or whatever, right? Or maybe it happened a month ago, but you're just kind of trying to process it. But it's not from the point of view of casting your spouse as a villain, but it's just you trying to I would say share an emotion, right? Or share something and have somebody say, well, you know, maybe XYZ, right? So that emotional support, I think, that women sometimes get from each other.
Guys, don't do that. We have our support and emotional support, but we don't come out unless it's painting the spouse in the best possible light for most spouses, unless we have an issue. But we don't come out and snitch on ourselves, because
why is that? Why?
Snitches get stitches.
That's from the movies, right? So I think, you know, also, if you were to bring that up too, that's sometimes also why people say don't air your dirty laundry in public, and then people keep quiet in terms of abuse, right? So it's a very insidious line in that sense, right? Because of this idea of don't say anything, it's not good for you to say something. Then people swallow like years and years of emotional abuse and don't even recognize it for what it is, right? Talk therapy is a thing, like just you talking through something with somebody sometimes can be the thing you need to see something in a clearer light. Rumination is never good, right?
I agree. And just to balance things up, they are the people that you can and should talk with.
Yes.
And then there are the other people that will take everything you say and do and use against you.
And so
in public.
When I'm talking about experience, and I'm saying is those people that you are now privileged to talk to that know you, right? Then they will say, oh, I don't know them like that, right? I don't experience them that way. So that's the fine line, right? In that sense. And only because you've always presented your best foot, to them, right? It will take them maybe spending some extended time in your house.
Well, thanks for clarifying that, because when you had brought that up, I was like, where did this one come from? But I agree. And I have to say that I don't think it's possible for someone to be the same way with everybody all the time. Only because I feel people pull different things from you. So when you're at work, for example, your colleagues, students, whatever, they pull something else from you. When you are at church, your co-workers, your volunteers, they pull something else from you. So those people those people experience you in a different way for the most part, and so it's hard. But then I think that what you're actually, why I felt challenged is that at work they know me in a certain way, jovial, this thing, whatever. At home, and I just think that sometimes there is a place of discernment whereby you are creating like a boundary, as it were. You don't want to. How do we say it? In Nigeria, you don't just show yourself finish. I'm not sure how to translate that in English. But those that know, don't just show yourself finish.
You don't want people to take you for granted,
exactly.
right?
That's a good word. And then the person needs that part of you that others have not seen. You are in a better place to just say, okay, let me show you that bit.
Yeah. But you are saying it from the perspective of like, I don't want to show them the bad side of me, right? Or whatever. And I'm saying where I was coming from was not necessarily for you, but for people who consistently show only the good sides of themselves to others. And then at home, it's like they park that side. That's what I'm saying. Right.
And show their real self. But I'm just going to throw this out here. Wouldn't you be alarmed if you come to work and the person wants to show you their bad side? Wouldn't you? Isn't that definition of a hostile work environment?
Well, I don't know. I feel like sometimes that, what's the word? It's not necessarily code switching, but code switching is the word that comes to mind. Like all that continuous having a front is sometimes why the spouse then gets, the brunt of it when you get home. That's what I'm saying. So all that like emotional regulation all day, right? Okay. So there's a place to say to people at work, I don't feel like talking right now. I don't, you know what I mean? Like as opposed to playing nice guy, right? All the time. Then when the person comes home, then it's like
gets all the dregs.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, I guess that's how we can tie it up in your marriage relationship.
Yes. Don't give your spouse the dregs.
The leftovers.
Don't do that.
The
not
good.
I'm not saying he does that too, because if he does, I'll call him out. But it's just, when I said that's not how I experience you, it's more of when you say, I'm such a patient person, right? Like you've identified that as your self-concept. And I'm like, okay, maybe to everybody outside, because they don't live with you day by day, right? In that kind of thing. So I'm talking about where the person identifies as a certain thing, and it's like, but that's not how your spouse experiences, which is okay, because you live with them, right? So they will experience all the different sides of you. But then when people now keep saying this person is so patient, and it's like, wow, okay, I mean, compared to what, compared to who, in that sense. But no, but seriously, right? That's kind of the idea. Don't give your spouse the dregs. And it also brings up the question of what people say, like weaponized incompetence, which to me is such a big word. But it's this idea of at work, you're leading people doing things, just what, then when you come home, it's like, go and change the thing on the filter. It's like, which filter? Which way does it go? Does it go up? Does it go down? It's like, those things is just like, you just cannot be doing this at work because you will not have a job. So why are you doing it at home, right? In that sense. So yeah.
But no buts. However, let me add that. I don't want to use buts. I want some but to get me to buts. But however, as an alternate, a fine line, because if it could be that the home is such a safe space where you can just, you know what, I'm done with the facade. I just want to be me. Walking around my boxer shorts and socks.
King of the castle.
Exactly.
That's okay. However, right, if you're, what's the word, like when someone says you're being a sourpuss, right? If your sourpussness keeps drifting in, and the spouse is now saying, hey, what's up? Don't take it out on them, right?
True talk.
Because they too have a right to get in the good side of you, right? In that sense, and more than people outside.
And that can be a cause for issues
conflict.
Whereby your spouse sees you at home all the time, and then one minute they come to the office
and it's like, what happened here?
This person, So that's it. So I mean, this holiday season, that's what we want to have for you.
Be the same out and
inside. Don't let your spouse get the dregs.
The dregs of the eggnog or whatever it is you're drinking for the holiday season.
Let them get the best.
Yes. And it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say, babe, today was a hard day at work. I'm really tired, right? Or this thing you're asking me to fix, my eyes are not seeing clearly right now. Just give me 1 hour. Just give me X, But the idea of I'll get to it and then you don't get to it, right? That's like a double whammy, in that sense. So, but I guess the essence is this: don't give your spouse the dregs.
Again, a safe enough space where we feel comfortable enough to say, listen, or give me
an wear boxer shorts.
Well, not just wear boxer shorts, but to say, hey, listen, I need an hour to decompress, and then I'll be available. If that means doing it in the car before you come in or come out, I need an hour to decompress. Because there's a facial expression whereby when you say, give me an hour, they've come again, they don't run out, they're coming again for an hour, and then you're like, okay, next time I'm just going to do this.
Or the other side of, can they see that I just got back from work 5 hours ago? Right? And they're coming to ask me for things. But I get it because especially because again, this culture thing, we live in a different country than where we grew up from. So there's a lot of emotional regulation that goes on at work, like a lot. Sometimes I feel like that's what makes people break sometimes, because it's not possible to just over and over just be putting on this front, that kind of thing. So I recognize the things that are tied to that, right? So it's a question of, okay, I know you won't do this at work. Like, you can even turn it into banter, right? Then we talk about banter the last time. You can say, I know you don't do this at work, so, don't try new. You can, there's a way to lighten things, right? Even things as serious as something that we're talking about. So,
well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And
we'll see you soon, right? Soon enough on this couch. Yeah,
right.
okay.
Well, our family to yours.
Bye.